What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Seth's project. My name is Seth, of course. Today, we're actually going to be working on my first real piece of furniture. It's going to be a Japanese-inspired shoe rack slash bench, so you can kind of sit on it, take your shoes off, put it in the rack, and slide the doors closed. But today, we're actually just going to be building the case. So next episode, we're going to be building the sliding doors, and the next episode after that, we're going to be building the actual legs for it. But in this episode, of course, building the case, and I made that out of walnut and maple. The main case construction is made out of maple, mainly because that's all, mainly the wood that I had was maple. And I'm not a huge fan of the way it looks and the way it turned out, but oh well, maybe another time we'll build it out of maybe walnut or white oak. But anyway, let's just jump right into the video. So when I first designed this project, I had no idea what wood I wanted to use, but the only wood that I had enough of for this project was this maple that I had lying around from the workbench build from a long time ago that I was actually going to make. I was actually going to use the maple for the workbench instead of pine, but I didn't end up doing that, so I had a bunch of this maple, so I decided I would use it for this project. And it turns out I hated the way this maple looked, and I would have much rather used a different wood, but like I said, we might make this one in white oak or walnut later on down the road. Projects like this will be a whole lot easier whenever I get my joiner, and I'm really hoping that I can get my joiner by the first quarter of next year. That's the plan, at least. So all I'm doing here is I'm just edge jointing pretty much. This is what I would use the joiner for, but I'm using my Japanese hand plane to straighten up these edges a little bit and make it to where I have a perfect joint whenever I go to glue these two together.
So I actually decided to try to save my chisels a little bit and route out these mortises and then chop them square pretty much. This was a much faster way to do it as well. So I cut a little notch just big enough to get my bandsaw blade in there, and I will cut most of the way so I'll get almost to the line. One little tip that I can give you guys with power tools, for me, I think the best way to do it is if you're using power tools, only use them to get close to your line and chisel to your baseline. I feel like that gives you the most accurate result. This build has a lot of stopped grooves in it, and in my opinion and in my experience, there's no real easy way to cut stopped grooves unless you use a router. So that's what I'm doing here. I route out the grooves and I will chop the ends square so that way I have a nice square stopped groove. So now it is glue up time. I really thought that this glue up was going to be extremely stressful, but it actually went together fairly nice. There was a lot of things that kind of had to line up, and I've done a lot of dry fits on it, and the dividers don't really want to line up all the time, and I thought it was going to be really stressful, but it turned out to be all right, so I was really happy about that. It is now time to pound the wedges in. For some reason, I really enjoy this. It's like your project finally comes together and you can knock the final pieces in. And some people like some thick wedges. I really like the really thin look. It's kind of more elegant. I just like it more. So that's what I'm sticking with for now. And yeah, I think these wedges turned out pretty nice. I should probably invest in a flush cut saw because this was not the funnest thing I've ever done. It was a little bit difficult to saw these close, and I ended up having to plane them down a lot, but oh well, it turned out fine in the end. All right, well, I hope you guys enjoyed that little bit of a sneak peek into episode 2. I'm really excited for episode 2. I'm really glad that I finally got this case done. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode. I know you guys will enjoy the second one, so do not miss it. Make sure to subscribe. And if you enjoyed this episode, make sure to hit the like button. And yeah, next episode we're gonna be doing some Kumiko work, and it's gonna be
quite fun. I've got like a little tutorial in the first part of episode 2, and I think you guys will learn a couple things. So yeah, I'm excited to finish this build, and of course I'm excited to take you guys along with me on the journey of this project. So yeah, don't miss it. Again, it's gonna be fun. Third episode, we're gonna be doing the legs as I said. But anyway, I'm gonna see you guys in the next episode.